Hello, Year 12. This is Miss Wills. I am going to go through your second lesson of the week for theatre studies today, which is going to be all about Brecht. What I have done is I've sent you a link to a forms quiz in an email along with this lesson. I would like you to do that quiz first, please. It is on the practitioner Brecht, which many of you will have kind of research over summer. It was your summer tasks. If for whatever reason you did not get these tasks, do not panic. You don't need to do the quiz. I don't expect you to if you haven't actually done the research on Brecht. But what I would like you to do is just to make sure that you're taking a load of notes for this lesson because this is when I will be introducing him. So once you've done that quiz, we'll make a start with the lesson. I just want you to consider what you already know about him, what you know about him so far. So put your notes aside, a blank piece of paper out, just write for 1 minute everything you can remember about Brecht, about him as a person, about his background, about his ideas, his methodologies, anything like that. I just want you to just brainstorm quickly what you can remember. So just pause this for a moment. Okay, hopefully if you didn't do the research over summer, there's still these quotes from a couple of lessons ago will be familiar to you. So this one on the left here is from Brecht. He says, art is not a mirror with which to reflect reality, but a hammer with which to shape it. Now I've got to think as well, thinking back to last lesson, this idea of naturalism versus German expressionism. You know, during a time where naturalism was very popular, where it was all about reflecting reality, detailed sets, realistic acting, Brecht was kind of against this, and he says, well, we need to do a bit more than that with theatre. We do. It's not just a mirror, simply a mirror. It has got to be something, a kind of a forum. We've got to use it as a platform to educate people, and the only way we're going to do that is by allowing them, reminding them even that this is actually a play, it's not real, but we are conveying these issues that we need to act on. He wanted to make sure that society, that an audience would leave with questions and with ideas of hopefully changing society for the better. And he says you need to break the illusion of reality and encourage a detached consideration of issues. So he believed in alienating the audience and constantly reminding them that this is a play, it's not real. These are not real characters, these are actors acting out the role. And by doing this, he felt like he was encouraging audience to actually consider the issues that were being expressed rather than allowing their emotions to basically just drive them into the plot and be too immersed in the actual story. So I just want you to take a moment to pause this again and just write down your ideas about this. What are your thoughts on this? Are these Do you agree with his style? Would you like to go and see a play in sort of a Brechtian play, or would that put you off maybe? What are your thoughts and ideas on that? I'd just like you to write that down. Okay, so why are we looking at Brecht? Well, first of all, going back to your section C of your written exam and what the examiner what you were required to do, what they're asking of you. Not only are we needing to study Wojciech, which we kind of looked over briefly last lesson, but you also need to apply the methodologies of your practitioner. So you need to understand who Brecht is, because he's our practitioner, understand his style, understand what his purpose is, what he is trying to do, okay, what he uses theatre as a tool, he utilizes theatre as a tool in order to educate society. How does he do that? What does he do on stage in order to do that? That's what we're going to be looking at and thinking about how we can use some of those techniques to encourage the same kind of response from an audience. So let's look at Brecht. So he was born in 1898 in Germany. He was a poet, playwright, and theatrical reformer. And he introduced the concept of epic theatre. Again, we'll look at this in a bit more detail in a moment, but essentially what epic theatre is it's a type of theatre where in the performance you are constantly reminded that it is, in fact, a play. It is not real. It is encouraged to make you think, it is encouraged to make you question, but not get emotionally immersed in the actual story, which in a sense is fictional. Well, I guess in Wojciech's kind of instance, it is based on true events, but the point is to educate. He developed drama as a social forum for leftist causes. Okay, so he was very, very much left wing, and much like Bushna, he was a voice for the working class people, and he saw how middle class exploited the lower class, and he wanted to criticize this through the plays that he put on. He studied medicine and worked in a hospital as well. He he was he had very, very opinionated views against the middle class. And he followed Marxism and became a Marxist as well. So he's very, very much influenced by that. And he even himself went in exile in Scandinavia in 1933. He eventually died of a heart attack in 1956. That's kind of like the basics about Brecht. But I want you to look at that, and just from those basics, because I'm sure you've got a lot more information on that, just from those basics, I want you to think about what are the key similarities or differences, if there are any, between Bushna and Brecht, and how do you think that's going to help you when you have to use the methodologies from Brecht to talk about how you're going to convey the key themes and ideas in Bushna. How do these kind of go hand in hand? I would like you to get your ideas down. So pause this clip again for me. Okay, so we're going to go on now to Brecht's vision. So what he believed in. We've kind of discussed that already. Brecht believed that if you are emotionally involved in a play, you lose the ability to think and judge. We become essentially slave to our emotions, and that is not going to be very impactful at all, is what he believes. He wanted the audience to remain objective and not become emotionally attached to the characters, to the story. He introduced epic theatre, which, as I mentioned before, is using a range of methods to remind the audience that they are watching a play. And it would be things like as well the stage crew would come on. You would see them in the background. They wouldn't even try and hide them. They would put them in white tops so they were very, very visible, so you could see them coming on, moving furniture around, etc., and props. So it was constantly reminding people that it is actually a play. He aimed to distance the audience, a technique known as the V effect, because I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. You can write V effect down, it's totally fine, but this is a key technique that Brecht used, and it was distancing the audience. It means to distance the audience, okay, essentially, which is what we've talked about already. So the V effect then, it's constantly reminding the audience that they are watching theatre, as we've already talked about. I want you to think about, there's his purpose, that's his aim, that's what he wants to do. This is the kind of effect he wants to have on the audience. How on earth does he create that effect? How does he create, or how can anyone create that distance and that V effect on stage? I would like you to take a moment just to jot down what kind of techniques, what kind of methods could you use that would achieve this, which would achieve this idea of constantly reminding the audience that it is a play and to not encourage them to be emotionally involved. So just pause this again for me, please, and just write down any ideas you have. Okay, what I'd like you to do now, there's this clip that I would like you to watch. I will send you the link, and it is just a little introduction to Brecht, so you can get some more notes down, some more ideas down about some of the techniques he used, as well as a little bit more on his aims and his purpose as well. So if you just pause this and find that link for me and watch that clip. Okay, hopefully you found that clip quite interesting there. And I'm just going to show on the board now just, some techniques used by Brecht in order to create this V effect. So narration, narrating what's happening in the play, coming out of role, and even like talking to the audience, coming out of role, that would work. Speaking, stage directions, placards, kind of even directing, like placards with written on them what's happening in the play. A minimal set, so very, very much unlike the naturalistic movement where it be detailed set, very, very minimal. Multi-rolling, so an actor play more than one role, and split rolling as well, where a character is played by more than one actor or actress. Lighting, often lighting very stark, very bright. Song and dance, so often if there was a very sad moment in the play, he doesn't want his audience to feel to his emotions to get the better of them, for them to sort of be drawn into this moment. Instead, for example, you could have a song playing straight after to try and draw you away from that, or kind of a comedic character coming on or performing a dance just to stop you from being immersed in it emotionally. Montage, spas, and gestures, basically the movement, exaggerated movement and humor. That's the kind of things he would use. So finally, just a kind of summary for today. Epic theatre's purpose is a political statement, essentially. It leaves some issues unresolved, so it encourages the audience to go and to question things, to question society perhaps as well. It inspires action in the audience. The audience cannot be passive to this. He doesn't want a passive audience who just go to be entertained. He wants an audience who will, yes, be entertained, but it'll also be shocked, will also have questions, and will leave wanting to inspire them to make change. Scenes are episodic, so very often in epic theatre, you will not have a linear narrative. You will have a narrative that is all over the place. So you have a fractured narrative. Of course, this is very much suits Wojciech because Wojciech was unfinished and it had a very fractured narrative. So these are the kind of key features of epic theatre. What I'd like you to do is I would like you to consider as sort of final task how well Wojciech would suit this style on stage and why. And I would like you to write that down for me. And I also want you to consider what your personal thoughts about the epic theatre style is as well. Is it for you? Do you understand what he's trying to do there? Do you think you could go and see a performance like this? Have you seen a theatrical performance in this kind of style before? And do you think it had the desired effect that it wanted to have on you? Okay, guys, so I'm going to leave that there. Again, if you've got any questions following this, please just send me an email. I will be sending out, if I haven't already, details of your driving test task, which you can start cracking on with. And again, email with any questions. Next week, we will be starting to watch and read along with Wojciech. Don't worry, you do not need to buy your own copies. We will provide the copies for you, which I will give out to you next week. So don't worry about that. Okay, thank you very much for listening, Year 12.